This is Monday School. It's Wally's take on what he learned at church. Or at least the parts he understood.
So we were talking about AI. That's all the buzz. It's kind of like what people are talking about all the time. And our pastor took time to read a poem, though, about being at the beach. And it mentioned feeling the warm sand on your toes, or the picture of an Arulian sky, which I don't even know what that is, still to this day. But it's very flowery, very pretty. Then he revealed that the author of it was written by artificial intelligence.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he started by doing prompts with AI to write a poem about summer, then make it shorter, then make it more poetic. And that was what the computer came up with. But ultimately, it was just a collection of words to this computer, because AI has never felt the warm sand between its microchips. It's never stood in the awe of the colors that God has made in the sunset, and it's never felt or experienced anything that it's talking about.
True.
Yeah, and so then I'm like, oh, I see where you're going. You're going to line this up with faith, and I love it. I think it's a great analogy, because sometimes our faith is like that. It's an artificial faith. We go through the motions. We don't experience God like we did when we first got saved. We've gotten, so far away from what it's like to actually feel and experience God that it becomes words. I'm like, oh, I totally get that.
Because you're personally in that?
Oh, it helped. Yeah. I mean, I go in ebbs and flows for sure. And and it's one of those things, my faith will be stronger and better sometimes than other times. And so, I'm like, that like totally landed with me.
And I think a lot of people find themselves there. I know I do.
Yeah. And so the other part of this, though, the converse to this is that our faith is, bigger than that. The world knows about God, but they've never felt him or experienced him, and that's where we come in too. That's part of it. While it has to be something real in our lives for ourselves, it also has to be real in our lives, but it has to be something that emits from us as well, because our faith should be something that's alive in us and something that we want to share in a way that is anything but artificial.
And I think we can easily show that when we have joy in our lives, finding joy in the midst of things that most people would be like, this is a terrible situation, but you walking through it with a smile on your face, when you can say that's only because of my relationship with God that I am able to smile in this situation, I think that speaks volumes.
Absolutely.
Way more than it does with you preaching to someone.
Absolutely. So there you go, a little AI faith, and maybe that helps you out if you're stuck today.